Hey, it's me, the crazy lady who has decided to get rid of everything and move into an RV full time. And I wanted to address a comment that I keep getting from a lot of people. And that is that everybody says, wow, you're so brave. And while I appreciate it and I take it as a compliment, I don't feel brave. And I really had to do some soul searching to figure out why I don't think what I'm doing is brave. And I figured it out. First of all, in order to be brave, I think you have to be overcoming some kind of fear. And I have no fear of what I'm doing. I have no fear of anything, and I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, I've had the big house, and I mentioned that in a previous video, and I've downsized from the big 5-bedroom house with all the 5 kids and all that over a period of time. And I want to just give you a really brief biography of what I've been through in my life. And trust me, this is not a comprehensive list. This is just a few of the things. So first of all, I was married very young. I was 19. My parents had gotten divorced. We moved away from my beloved school and all my friends my senior year of high school. I met someone and got married. We got engaged after 2 days. Yeah, met, 2 days later engaged, married 3 months later, but he lived out of state, so we didn't know each other, got married. Bad marriage, stayed in it for 21 years and had 5 kids, so that was a blessing. Went through a divorce. So then I am single and never really been single as an adult before, so that was an eye-opener at 40 years old, and I still had 3 teenagers. During my marriage, I had 15 miscarriages and a stillbirth. I had well over, since then, I mean, throughout my life, I've had well over 20 surgeries. I honestly stopped counting. I've had my colon mostly removed. It's called a colectomy, and they bypass everything and basically reconnect your small intestine down to the rest of the goods. And I was able to avoid having a bag, but still no colon in there. And all of these surgeries, I mean, I've had all my optional parts removed. So I've had my appendix removed. That burst when I was 19 and newly married and pregnant. So I lost that baby. And then, let's see, where was that? So then I kept having more surgeries because I had all kinds of abdominal problems, ovarian cysts and things. So eventually I had my uterus removed, and then it took 3 surgeries to remove 2 ovaries. Because I had so much scar tissue that when they went to remove the second ovary, they couldn't find it. They said there were so many like tendrils, they were worried they were gonna cut the wrong thing. So they closed me up, I healed for a month, and then they went back in and did the surgery using something called a Da Vinci robot. And so my doctor's on the far side of the room, like playing a video game. She's got joysticks and a pedal, and she's operating this giant robot that's over my body, actually doing the surgery. Crazy. Anyway, I have, had a couple of near-death experiences. One, because my potassium level dropped down to what they said were fatal levels. It was non-existent in my system. Who knew? I mean, I didn't know that was a thing. But when you don't have a colon, you get dehydrated real quickly. So I think that is what happened. So I ended up in intensive care. And another time, I had massive kidney infections on both sides, and I was admitted to the hospital with a fever of almost 108 degrees, and it stayed there for a better part of a week, or the worst part of a week. I was in intensive care during that time, developed a cyst on my brain and one on my liver. I went septic, and they basically said I wasn't gonna make it. But I did, because I'm like a cockroach. You can't kill me. Let's see what else happened. All my pregnancies were bed rest, and even though I lost 15, I did get my 5 survivors here, but it was not easy. And everybody says, oh, you had 5 kids, you must have just popped them right out. Nope, did not work that way. But I'm so grateful for my survivors. What else? Not too long ago, I got food poisoning the week before Thanksgiving and got very dehydrated at home. By the time I got to the hospital, I was having an ischemic heart attack. Again, didn't know that was the thing, but it was because I got so dehydrated and so sick. I have had shingles. I had a back surgery 4 years ago, and it was supposed to take 3 hours, but it took almost 9 hours, and therefore the nerve down my left leg was damaged, which is very painful, and I trip a lot. Because I trip a lot, I tripped 2 years ago, went to break my fall with my right hand, and succeeded in breaking my fingers with my fall. So these 2 fingers had to be sewed back on. They bent so far back that they popped open at the joint. So now they don't work right. That finger does not go the right direction anymore. And that's very painful. And I'm right-handed. And then about 2 months ago, I was trying to open super glue with the business end of scissors and holding the super glue against the counter, stabbed, and yeah, you know what's going to happen. Any idiot would know this was going to happen, but I'm not just any idiot. I'm a special idiot. And they slipped and went right into the joint of this finger. Tiny little hole, you can hardly see it. I managed to hit the tendon sheath, the tendon, the nerve, and an artery. Again, who knew you had arteries in your finger? Anyway, that bled for days, but I was on a trip and I was busy, but it kept getting worse during the trip. I called my doctor back at home and he said, you need to like run, not walk to an urgent care because you're going to lose your finger, possibly your hand. Long story short on that one, I need surgery because I damaged it so badly that now I have pain all the way down here and it doesn't bend. And now I have a couple of jacked hands. Let's see what else. So a couple of years ago, my husband at the time totaled my car. So I rented a car so I could go see my kids out of state for Christmas. And there was a blizzard the night before. So I racked up my rental car Christmas morning. When I hit a patch of ice on the freeway, it spun me over and I hit the center divide and that spun me back across 3 lanes. And I almost went over the side into a frozen river, but I didn't. So see, I'm a lucky person. So then on my way home from that trip, everything went really quiet and started spinning. Long story short, a week later, I take my happy butt to the audiologist and find out I have sudden sensory narrow hearing loss, which is permanent. I have 0 hearing in this side, little hearing on this side, and one-sided deafness brings on the worst vertigo. So I walked around looking like I was drunk for months. I was a lot of fun to be around. So with my bad leg and my vertigo, I was tripping all the time. I mean, people should have followed me around with a video camera because it would have been great. So then, and vertigo, of course, brings another gift with it, and that's nausea and headaches. And of course, I researched it, and it said this kind of hearing loss often comes on after the age of 60, and that proves that God and the universe have a good sense of humor because I had turned 60 2 weeks before. I think that was their way of saying, happy birthday, Christy. Now you're deaf. Okay, so then I was going through a divorce, but I needed a new car. So with my drunk, dragging my leg, dizzy, shopping for a car was next to impossible. So I found one online, ordered it, and it got to the dealership, and I showed up to get it and found out it was just an itty bitty car. And it was titled, it's a Hyundai Kona, like a compact SUV. And I saw SUV, great. Then I could put a rack on it and carry my kayak around and my bike. Find out, no, my kayak is like twice the length of my car. And so gets great mileage, but it's like a toy car. So I moved pretty much all by myself, with my broken hands and broken leg and vertigo. I moved into this little condo, downsizing yet again, and it's been comfortable, but it was never my long-term plan. My oldest daughter, was having trouble with alcohol, and she struggled with it for a long time. And so trying to help her, she lived with me here for a while. And eventually she did move out, and she was found dead, unfortunately, 6 weeks later, and from severe alcoholism. She had destroyed her liver and destroyed her body. So, am I brave for what I'm doing? No, because what else can happen to me, really? And I've made it through all those things. And I make it through with a smile on my face. And you can't always see humor in a situation when it's happening, but later on, looking back, you can almost always find something to laugh about. Just don't take yourself so seriously. Take a chance, because even when the worst things in life happen to you, you'll survive. And if you try hard enough, you will find blessings that come from it. The people that rally around to help you and support you, I mean, they come out of the woodwork, and it's amazing. And I look at that as a blessing of all of these things I've been through. And each so-called challenge or tragedy has been a great opportunity for growth. So don't fear going forward. Don't fear a new challenge. And if you're not elated with your life right now, make a change, make a drastic change, because what have you got to lose, right? So keep following me. I have renamed my video channel and my Instagram the Gypsy Turtle, because that's me, kind of a gypsy, and I'm gonna be like a turtle, living in my RV, full time, like my home on my back, just like a turtle. So hopefully we will see you again, and please subscribe and like. And if you have any questions about any of the things I just said, please mention it in the comments, and I promise to get back to everybody. Thanks. Peace out.